All right, so today, guys, we have a 2016 Mustang GT, and it's a V8. This car is as American as the cowboy hat. Oh, it's the same thing, just don't worry, they get what I mean. Anyways, the car itself, I think it looks fantastic. I love the Mustang, I really like the look of it. I love the fact that this car pays homage to the original Mustang in many ways, in terms of the general look on the outside and the interior. This one obviously has a bit of added extras compared to a stock one. So it's got like a new splitter at the front here, this black accent down here, and it's got some stuff on the side like vents and stuff that are fake. It's a lot of fakery on this car, but look, that's okay. This car is a ridiculous car, okay? It's a muscle car. It's supposed to look outlandishly ridiculous, and that is absolutely fine because it's not trying to be anything else but a muscle car. But yeah, I just like the general look of the car. I love this yellow paint. I thought that I wouldn't in the Mustang, but it actually pops. It's really nice. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the general look of the car. The engine, the heart of this beast, a naturally aspirated 5-litre V8. I understand you can get a V6 and a 4-cylinder. It is a crime against humanity to even think about getting those motors, and it's a crime against this car, okay? This is a muscle car. It should have a fire-breathing V8, okay? So don't even go there, don't even look at it, buy this. Okay, so power output, guys, you're looking at 306 kilowatts, 530 Newton meters of torque, sending all that power to the rear wheels through a 6-speed automatic transmission. Look, I know it's an automatic. I would rather a manual in this because it is a muscle car, but this one's automatic, okay? 0 to 100 in 4.8 seconds, if you can get the power down, because as you will notice later, you really can't in this car. It's quite hard. But yeah, it's a beast of a motor. All right, guys, I forgot one important thing that this car comes with, which is added bonus and more fun, is line lock. But unfortunately in Australia, we are negative Nancy's and we don't like that here. So unfortunately we don't have that function here. And what that is practically they lock up the front brakes and you can do a standing burnout for as long as you want. Side profile of the car. And again, I like the side profile. Look, it's quite a large car. I'm not gonna deny that. It is a big car. It's not small at all. A lot of fakery going on. So we've got fake vents here. Fake vents here. These are aftermarket side skirts, okay? I actually like them, looks cool. It does have an exiting hole, which is real, but probably doesn't do anything. But look, the fakery is okay on this car. I don't hate it because it's a muscle car. And muscle cars are supposed to look outlandish and ridiculous. And I think it suits this car really, really well. At the front, guys, we've got 20s, and at the rears, we've got 20s. Obviously, they're not stock. I really do like these wheels. At the front, bear with me, they are two 55s by 35s, okay? 20-inch wheels, as I explained. And at the rear, they're two 95s by 55s. Even though they're two 95s on the rear, they still do not get traction. I'm not joking. This car does not like to stick to the ground. It likes to go sideways everywhere and anywhere it can. Brakes, so brake setup. We've got 6-piston Brembos at the front, which actually are quite good. I was very surprised on this car for those brakes. They're actually very, very good brakes. And then it's just a single piston at the back. But yeah, that's the side. Let's go back to the rear. Yeah, stop it there, man. That American muscle. I love that note. You can't say that does not sound good. It's intoxicating, it's so emotional, it's got heart, it's got spirit, it's got everything a V8 should have. Talking about the rear end, I do like these lights. I like the rear tail lights, how they're finished off and pay homage again to the original Mustang. The center GT badge, which is cool. I like the rear end, the rear diffuser at the bottom here. Even though it's not real, it does give it a nice finish. It looks really nice. I like the shape, the haunches at the back. I love these rear haunches, makes it look very aggressive. And this spoiler, I don't know, I don't hate it, but I just don't. I'm a bit indecisive about the spoiler. That's an added extra as well. Guys, one thing I want to tell you about this car, it has independent rear suspension. Now the Mustangs have not had that for years. Their setup recently was from an old pickup truck, and it used to handle like, well, this video will do it justice. yeah, so they hopefully don't handle like that anymore. Still very tail happy, but I'm not gonna say they're not. This thing, just even if just a slight, I keep saying it, I know, sorry, but even just the slightest bit of throttle, this thing will just go sideways. Look, it's fun if you know how to handle it, but if you don't, you'll be caught by surprise and you might end up like in that video. But look, this car's not supposed to be sensible. All right, this car is as sensible as voting for Joe Biden. Like, let's be honest, it's not a sensible car, okay? But it's a muscle car. It's supposed to be outlandish. It's supposed to be stupid. It's supposed to be ridiculous, and it is. And I can't fault it for that. So we're in the interior, and straight off the bat, I'm just gonna label things I like and then things I don't like. I don't wanna ramble on, just keep it nice and simple for you guys. Okay, so things that I like. I like the fact that they pay homage, and I keep saying this throughout the video, but they are doing this throughout this whole Mustang, and I love it. The designers have done this right, and they've thought about it quite extensively. I love how it pays homage to the original Mustang in the interior. Okay, so it looks like the old school Mustang. I love that it's got the plaque here saying since 1964, nice little finish just to show that. I love the toggle switches, so the cool little toggle switches down here to change the modes. I love the fact that it doesn't have an eco mode, which shows that it is a muscle car, because what muscle car will have an eco mode, okay? It's quite silly to have that in a muscle car, and this doesn't have it, which I love the fact that it doesn't, because it's being what it is, and that is a muscle car. So I love the toggle switches for the modes. You have in the modes, so I'll go through them, you have normal, sport, race, and then snow and wet. I don't know why it has snow and wet. I would not take this to the snow, and I would not drive it in the wet. Just saying. Okay, so that's that. Then you've got the steering, okay? So you've got steering, you can change the steering. You can got normal, sport, and then comfort. So that's cool. You got a traction button. Please leave that on. Do not turn it off, okay? It'd be silly too. You got all your climate functions. I love the fact that it actually has cooled and heated seats. I got the seats on cool right now because my butt is on fire because it's so hot outside, and I can say that it is working and it is fantastic. Like the little aluminium finishes on the volume and the tuner setup for the info, and I like just the general layout. I like the gear shifter, that it looks like an old school drag car, automatic drag car system, automatic transmission, like the 3 speeds, old school 4 speeds. That looks cool. Yeah, but here are the things I don't like, okay? The quality isn't that great. So you got scratchy plastic here on the top of the door. You're finishing on the dash, even though it's squidgy, it's finished off in this fake stitching, which is not gonna fool anyone. The infotainment, even though it's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, is good. It's a bit old. Oh, you can't. Okay, I'm gonna say one thing here. Okay, there are other cars in this range that you could buy, and I agree on that, like you could. But that note, that 5-litre V8 note is just soothing to the soul. It's just so nice, and I love it. But here are the things that I don't like. The paddles, so the gearbox itself, very, very delayed. So when you're using the paddle shifters, there is a delayed response in shifting the gear, so I do not like the gearbox that much. Not the biggest fan of this. I would get it in a manual if I was going to buy this. I wouldn't get it in the automatic. I do like the steering. The steering is actually heavy around corners, which I do like. I like when it's in sport mode, it's very heavy, very responsive. But there is a complaint about the handling. Now, all those videos you see of Mustangs losing it and you know, crashing at car meets, well, I can see why. The car is extremely tail happy. Like, just an inch of the throttle in a corner and you will just go sideways, automatically sideways. But that's about it. I can't really hate this car. I just love how silly it is. That's what's so cool about it. It's not trying to be anything else but a muscle car. So that's what I love about it. Like if it was trying to be, say, a high-end luxury coupe, then I would say it's a bit ridiculous, but it's not. It knows it's a muscle car and it wants to be stupid. It wants to be silly. So for that, I can't really complain about this car. I love it. It's a hoon. So what's my verdict on the Mustang? Well, if you're looking for an outlandish, obnoxious, crazy car that doesn't care about the environment, you don't even care about fuel, go ahead and buy one, because I would. I think this car is awesome. I love it. It puts a massive smile on my face. Even though there are some parts of it, you know, the quality is a bit down and, you know, it's got fakery here and there. The car is not trying to be anything but a muscle car, and for that I love it. And Ford, you've done the right thing. You've made a muscle car, a modern muscle car, and I love the car. I love the fact that it's not trying to be anything else but that. But the sad thing is, guys, is that a car like this is a dying breed. That engine, V8s are no longer to be made in the near future due to emissions. And for that, we've got to really embrace them now. We've got to buy them. And for the price that you pay for one of these, it's quite actually, it's a bargain. Like one of these right now, 2016 model, you're looking at 40 to 60 grand. And for the brand new one, you're just looking over 80. And for that, it's a bang for your buck. But you know what? Ford, keep it up. Because I've got to say something. Keep the Mustang great. And on that, we're done.